our own closed Facebook page that's just for our patients. So once that goes live, I can email the link, everybody can, join in and that sort of thing. And that, I'm hoping that just the social media piece is going to help people to not only stay engaged, but stay on top of what we've got that's available for you guys. So upstairs in Suite 260, we've undergone some construction. The doors are wider. We've got our bathrooms across the hallway that's more user-friendly for our patients. They were very tiny, so now we can accommodate wheelchairs and everything, thank goodness. That's been taken care of. Also, we have added another office that I hope will soon be like a behavioral health counseling type office. I'm working on adding some folks to our program, but hopefully they've got a really nice place with windows. So that's my hope, is that going into the fall, maybe we can fill that position. And hopefully, I'm going to say maybe July for our clothing closet in that space upstairs. I'm going to call it the Berry Boutique. It's going to be boutique-ish, but we do have already some men's clothes donated. We have a couple of racks already. The renovations aren't done, but everything that was in the floor and bags and Rubbermaid containers are now up, hung. Actually got some really cool steamers so we can steam the wrinkles out. But we plan on making that a really nice boutique-ish type space. All the clothes are gently used, so they're donated, so the clothes are free to our patients. I've seen this work another place, and it was very, very nice for our patients. We have an area where you guys can change clothes, you can try on clothes, there's a mirror that you can check out, and that sort of thing. So that will be there for you guys soon. Trying to think what else we've got going on. I told you about the next cooking class. Did I tell you about that? July the 2nd. So she's putting together the recipe cards and all from that. Soon we will have a recipe wall. I'm not going to obligate to a date yet because I'm waiting on the construction to be done. And we're also looking for a holder to go on the wall to hold lots of different recipes. So stay tuned on that, but the recipe cards are meant to be a resource for you guys, so that if you're bored with what you're eating, you just need another type of recipe. It's really cool. It's got the shopping list on one side, the recipes on the other. So we're collecting them every cooking class we do. We'll continue to add to that bank of recipes for you guys. So with that said, tonight's topic is about accountability. So I wanted to start by basically talking about where in your life do you have to be accountable? So what places would you say that you guys have to be accountable? Come on in, sign in the back if you don't mind. So tell me where you have to be accountable.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Let's be specific. At your job, right? So at your job, because if you don't do your job, somebody's going to come and hold you accountable, right? Where else?
Got it.
Okay. Yep. Where else? Where? Family. Be accountable to them.
Or for them.
Yep. True. What else?
Relationships.
I like that one. I don't know about you guys, but I have school-age kids. They're out of school, and I'm like, thank you, because my accountability level went down. I don't have to help them with homework and such as much, right?
Yeah.
I also finished my master's degree about 1.5 years ago. I had to be accountable to my deadlines of getting my papers in and such. So, had to be accountable in school. Where else?
Well, I'm an elected official in Claremont, so I have to be accountable to the community of Claremont.
Okay, so we would call that,
Yeah, I don't know.
What would you call that?
A job. Well, I guess it would be in a job, but it's on a really odd level, plus volunteering,
So-
like your
so-
Yeah,
church.
it's a voluntary relationship, and you're
Yeah, because I ran
accountability
yeah,
to that.
it's voluntary, yes, volunteerism.
Okay. Can we think of any other areas in our life that we have to be accountable?
Probably within our church or religious
I was
area.
thinking
Okay.
that too.
Yeah. And sometimes that's volunteer, right? Okay.
Yep.
What else?
Paying bills.
Ooh, financial accountability. Okay. So let's talk about that for a minute. We'll start at the top with the word job. So benefits of being accountable in your job are what?
Money.
You get to keep one, right? So money.
Promotion.
Oh, okay, so promotion. What else?
More work.
Ooh. Increase business, maybe? Uh-huh. Okay. What about diet?
Health.
Okay. What else about your diet? Benefits of being accountable.
I don't know what more than health you can say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That just about sums it up.
What about
I mean,
Yeah.
everything I can think
Longevity?
of, energy, everything else falls into health.
Yeah, live longer, happier,
Live long and prosper.
quality of life?
right? Quality of life is a big one.
Energy and mobility, right? Because some of our patients are at the point where it's difficult to even be mobile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I even say it's amazing that you can walk and talk at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? Okay, I like it. Family, benefits of being accountable. And these two might go together, family and relationship.
Yeah.
Right? If you're
I would
accountable
say
to your
better
family.
relationships.
I like that.
Happiness,
Yep.
there's happiness involved in being accountable to your family.
And better relationships may equal your emotional health for some, right?
Yeah.
What else?
Accountability kind of runs both ways for me on family. It's like I can be more responsible for my family, and they can feel more confident that when they tell me, my son was down visiting, and you know, when he sees something going on, he knows that he can hold me accountable if I'm starting to go off.
Okay, okay. Family, relationship, they can hold you accountable.
Trust.
What'd you say?
Trust.
Say it again.
Trust.
Trust, yes, I like that.
Mental health. If you have a good relationship with your family,
That's a good support, right?
yeah, it's a good support for mental health.
So, along with trust and better relationships, to me equals security, like a sense of security, contentment. Okay. So, school, accountability. If you don't turn something in on time, right, you get a bad grade. So, you have to be accountable for good grades. Depending on the teacher, they may not give you credit. All right, if you're late, you may get penalties or you may get a 0. And for kids, that can impact their college and everything else, right?
Future.
Yeah. All right. What about volunteer?
That's a big one for me because it means I have to, no matter what I'm feeling at that moment, I have to pull it. It's kind of like whether I want to stay home and just chill out, I have to attend this function, I have to go to this meeting. I can't always make excuses just because I don't want to do something that particular day.
Because if you don't, you're going to let somebody down, right?
Exactly. Or somebody else is going to have to step in and do it for me, even
That's a
if
good
I
point.
lay the groundwork.
Others
I let people down if I don't.
would be let down.
I let myself down if I don't too.
Right. So volunteer and church, I think, kind of go together as well. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Ooh, financial accountability.
You don't go to jail.
You ever, have you seen those T-shirts that says "I don't feel like adulting today"? That's what
Yeah, and that's what we say, and I've got
Sleep in a
2
ditch.
adult children, so
Yeah.
like, it just stinks to be an adult today. I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
But
So
tell us when your 26-year-old can be more adult than you.
so benefits
Yeah, no.
of financial accountability is a place to live.
Right.
Security.
Oh, there's the security word again.
Yep, security.
Okay, what else?
Mental health again.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to kill your spouse. Relationships. Or your spouse
You
doesn't
want
wanna
them
kill
to
you,
kill you.
or vice versa.
So that comes back to the accountability for me too, right?
Yes, it
Because if
does.
you're in a relationship and you guys are sharing money
Yes.
and one person's responsible but the other one isn't, that causes issues, right? So back to the relationship piece. Uh-huh.
They've got,
And the trust.
they've got, the advertisement on TV about, bills and everything that you don't have to pay them anymore. You can get by with that. And that just tears
They
me
try to
up.
tell you that you don't have to be accountable.
Right.
Unless you wanna live in the dark and don't have any food, I mean.
No, they've even got it where the courts, the people are getting out of it.
Oh, look, it just falls right off. So if we look at the definition, accountability is the acknowledgement of responsibility for your actions with the obligation to report, explain, and be responsible for the resulting consequences. So when we think about the foods that we eat, the portion sizes, whether or not you snack between meals, if you're physically active or not, right? Tonight we're going to talk about accountability for your health. And what could we do so that we hold ourselves accountable or hold each other accountable? What has worked for you in the past? And so if we start by talking about accountability in relation to your weight, if we start there, what has worked in the past? And what I mean by that is if you know that you've got this going on, does it impact what you do with your physical activity, your food choices, portion sizes, and that sort of thing? What has worked in the past? Where I'm going with this is some people I've seen in the past, if they didn't physically weigh in front of somebody else, they didn't feel like they were accountable, right? So what has helped in the past for you guys?
Just weighing myself
Mm-hmm.
and being accountable for what I weigh to myself.
Okay, so weighing yourself at home. Do you track it anywhere? Do you put it anywhere, or you just got it up here? You're like, I'm good.
I got a number that it better not go over.
Okay, so you have a weight range.
I was gonna say, that's a really good point, because at different times in this whole thing, I've held myself to a point of no return.
Mm-hmm.
That, when I hit menopause, I gained X number of pounds, and when I realized I had to start paying attention, okay, if I get past this point, it's my point of no return. And then when I ended up in cardiac rehab and I started dropping my weight again, I modified it down. And I have like a range I can kind of live with. And even though my cardiologist would be happy if I dropped the last 10 pounds, I'm okay with it. But at the same time, I know if I go past that range, I'm in a world of hurt again. And I never want to go there again. I've put myself there too many times in my life. And I'm just coming out of one of those stages.
Right? It's okay.
I do it twice a day. I do it in the morning and the evening, and then I put it into my app, and it gives me an average. So I usually, I know I gain like 2.5, 3 pounds of it, a day.
Yeah.
But I just, that average kind of helps me, because then it's high in the evening, I don't sweat it as much.
Yeah, evening hurts me if I'm working.
How far out from surgery are you? Do you mind?
I am probably getting close to 7 months.
Okay.
But I've just, well, I mean, this is funny, we're talking about this in the past 7 to 10 days. I don't know if I've bottomed out, but I've kind of started gaining a little weight. And I'm in a job transition, so I'm not as rigid on my routine. And I'm at that point now where I can try new things.
Yep.
And I've been very rigid, and so I'm having psyche problems about, I don't want to try new things because I don't want to open Pandora's box.
So we're going to talk about change in a minute, and I think that this will kind of shed a little bit of light onto that.
One other thing that I'm about to get myself back into, because I have to start being accountable to monitor my blood sugar readings as a diabetic is adding that weight once a week. That, you know, after I've gone through a week, I have my blood sugar readings, where's my weight at the end of this week? At this stage, I don't know that it's beneficial for me to do it every day as much as I would find myself doing it.
So, and that's kind of why I was asking, like, where he was with, you know, how far out from surgery. We do recommend once a week or even once a month if you can tolerate it. But you have to know yourself. You have to know what works for you. So if weighing himself, like, if that works for you, and you know that works for you, that's great. But there are some people that if they weigh themselves every day and they start to tick up a little bit, then instead of saying, I need to be more rigid with myself, they go, blew that. So, you know, and it starts off this chain reaction of, well, I've already messed up, so if I'm going to mess up, it's all or nothing. So you have to know yourself, and you have to know what's motivating for you and what's demotivating for you. And so the good thing is it sounds like that you've noticed a trend, but you're able to pinpoint, hey, I've had this stressor. I probably need to pay a little bit more attention to a couple things, right? So that's good.
I was like that way before I started this journey. I was like, well, that's, you know, it's over, and, you know, I just had my 6-month follow-up. I had my surgery in November, and I have officially lost 200 pounds.
Awesome.
Wow.
Congratulations.
So,
Awesome.
I mean, I'm super psyched about that, but I get on the scale once a week.
Once a week,
I don't do it before, I don't do it every day, because for me, my weight does fluctuate. I still have fluid issues a lot, so they still have me, that's the only 2 prescriptions I'm on, is the fluid pill and the potassium, so.
The other thing I like about what you shared was the app, and people use different apps.
Bariatrics.
But being able to see it and to be able to see a trend, or to be able to see, hey, it went up, but now I got it back under control or whatever, is helpful for some people. What app do you use?
It's the Apple Health app.
Yeah,
So
okay.
just enter it in on that.
The one I use is called Progress, but somebody else mentioned was it Bariatrics?
Bariatrics, that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
have. That's what I have.
And so some of them have more functions, some are free,
even
some
have
you gotta pay for. Yes, I think that one does have recipes,
it
but
has
there's
different kinds of
also
recipes.
there's also some functionality in some of them that you can take, like the before and after pictures and stuff like that incorporated in it.
And it does it like every, when you start the journey, you give it to, like, when you very, very, very first started it, it says, okay, what's your projected surgery date? And, okay, then you had your surgery date, and then it says, put a picture in this, and this, and this, and this. And I mean, I can't, like, if I look in the mirror, I mean, I can tell, don't get me wrong, from 425 to now, I can tell. But you really can't tell until you actually see yourself in the picture side by side.
It's very helpful. So, what else has helped to keep you accountable to your weight? Weighing yourself, keeping a range, that's like your range for yourself, right? Tracking it through an app, what else? Does it matter if you weigh for yourself, or you actually go to the doctor's office, or does it matter for you guys?
I use his part scale.
Some people used to say that, right? Some people used to say, what is it, Weight Watchers? That I had a friend one time that went to Weight Watchers, and she said she didn't even go to the meeting, she just went to go check in, like to weigh herself, because she was like, yep, somebody's there seeing me. So everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah, to me, if I weigh myself and I don't keep track of it, it was pointless. The whole deal was pointless. If you can't be honest with yourself, then, I mean, you're pretty much you're in worse trouble than you were when you started.
What
so
about,
I can understand where that would be a mental health issue.
For sure, yeah. What about clothes?
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Do clothes help you to stay accountable?
My only problem is that even this far out, I still see myself as being larger than I am. And no matter how much I mean, when I was in cardiac rehab, they were giving me the t-shirts, and I'm taking the large and the extra large, and they're going, why? And it just hit me all of a sudden, because I'm not that size anymore, and I haven't been for a while. But mentally, I'll still get the extra large, even when I tell myself it's more comfortable. Or
I do that with the 2X. I have honestly have a couple still that I wore, and they're like, it's like a dress, and I was like, well, and then he's like, did you get that? I'm like, well, no, actually I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some people do well if they keep a piece of clothing that they wore before surgery so that they can say, okay, this is what I did. And I don't see him here tonight, but we have one guy that does that. Some people will keep a pair of their skinny jeans in their closet so that they'll say, I hope to get to that. So it totally depends. You have to know yourself and you have to know what's motivating. But I have heard a lot of people say that once they're able to acknowledge, hey, maybe I don't wear an extra large or a large, maybe I could wear a medium, and then you put it on, you're like, okay. But that can help a little bit with them mentally.
And the other side of it is just realizing that, you know, like even now, hey, if the size whatever jeans really are too long and too baggy, and the only time I'm wearing them is if I'm messing around doing something in the house,
Mm-hmm.
why are they in my closet?
Yeah.
I got it.
Bring them to support group.
I need
Yeah,
this
sure.
size.
Take
I
them
need this
upstairs.
size. And she's like, Ma, you don't need that size. And I'm like, yes. She goes, go try it on. And we argued about it, and she had an extra large in her hand. And I was like, no, and she was right, because the other one just fell right down the ground.
I did that knitting. I needed to snag a shirt for a yoga class because I forgot it, and without even thinking, I got the 2X thinking, oh, it'll be nice and loose and I can move in it, and then I'm looking at it
And it drops to the floor.
and I'm going like, it comes down to here, it comes out to here, it's, okay, fine, this is, if I'm puttering around the house and it's hot out, but I haven't got rid of it yet.
You guys have heard me say this several times. But before and after pictures are huge mentally to be able to go, oh, I see what people are talking about now, because you don't see yourself the way that other people see yourself. But measurements also, because if you're measuring the inches, then mentally you can go, okay, that's the weight. Oh wow, I didn't realize how many inches I lost off my waist, my hips. I mean, when I used to do the 6 month, 1 year appointments, those weight cards we got in the back, I used to fill those out in the office every time. And it was just mind blowing for some patients, because they're like, yeah, but then when they saw the inches that they lost, it was just unbelievable. But it helped them to, if you use all three together, to connect, okay, now I can see it, you know. So that's helpful, but that helps with the recognition.
It
So
made me mad.
say it again.
I said it made me mad.
Did it? Did it hold you accountable?
Well, no, because I was at my year and I had lost 40 pounds.
Uh-huh.
Lost no inches. I was still in the same.
Huh.
Everything was exactly the same as it was when I started.
That's very unusual.
I know, and I got so disappointed, you know, that,
Was it the same person who measured you at the beginning? Yeah, that's odd. I don't.
and I just really got disappointed in it and almost quit, but.
Well,
40 pounds is a lot of weight.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Health-wise, I did, they took me off a lot of my stuff, but.
And if you're off of medication, that's a big deal too.
Yeah,
Cause that's like me, I'm not taking anything
well,
anymore.
I'm still taking a
Except
lot.
vitamins. But, cholesterol's way down, everything's way down,
I had
blood
another-
pressure, everything.
paper, but going there, you don't want to give up.
Yeah.
There's too many health benefits to losing the weight, so you don't want to give up. So hang in there. So what about diet and accountability? What helps you be accountable with your diet?
He does.
Okay.
Cause seriously, I'll get it. You supposed to do that? They said now that, you know, in 6 months I could, you know, eat a little bit of salad, or I could do that, and it's like the first thing when I put it, cause I've been dying for salad, it's just, you don't understand. I mean, it's like, oh, I just don't want salad. You supposed to be eating that right now? Yes, I am. I can actually eat that right now.
So having an accountability partner and somebody that you trust, right? Now, one thing I caution on, and I tell people this before they have surgery, whoever it's going to be, whether it's your spouse, your friend, you need to talk to them about what feels good to you and how they hold you accountable, because some people don't want you to become the food police. But it sounds like you guys have a good way, so where he's like, hey,
Little man,
Yep.
or my daughter, you'd be like, you know, I'll be like, I really want this, you know, and then they're like, yeah, but Are you
Mhm.
really supposed to have it?
Another
Yeah,
way that
no,
we can
not
use
really.
accountability partners is if you find yourself in a weak moment, right? For some folks that are emotional eaters or stress eaters, to have that accountability partner that you can either call, text, FaceTime, whatever, to go, okay, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I want to do, and for them to be, for you to know that when you call them, that they're going to have your back and say, but does this support your goal, you know, and to talk you down off that ledge a little bit, right?
I'm the one that don't eat
Mhm.
emotionally. I
Mhm.
just don't eat at all. And
Mhm.
that's when you're like, have you eaten today?
Mhm. You have to be careful with the accountability partner, though, right? Because whoever's your accountability partner needs to be that person that you can rely on that is going to help to support your goal. What it doesn't need to be is to need to be, what it shouldn't be is your enabling partner that goes, yeah, you're right, this stinks and you deserve this, because that's not going to support your goal. So you got to make sure that you're choosing the right person to be your.
I was just gonna say, to, you know what,
Mhm.
that getting back into counseling and getting with Yesenia after this whole horrible mess this last year, she's helping reset my priorities and my goals.
It's not spelled
And
right, is it?
doing it, it's,
I'd never know.
Good.
no, it's
Yeah,
an
we're good.
S, because
An
that's
S?
like city council.
I started to do an S and then it just, mm-mm.
But, it's, you know, one of the things, I've seen her twice now, and, you know, after, you know, really breaking down and going into
Mhm.
this whole mess I'm 20 years out and had very unexpected kickback issues recently with my pouch.
Mhm.
So when I was here last, it knocked me on my butt, put me totally where I didn't expect to be, and I had my surgery in another state. So it just was incredibly difficult. And taking that step into counseling with my family's total approval, backing, and whatever you and your counselor do it. Just whatever you have to do to get out of this and back where you need to be, do it. And they don't hold me accountable on my diet, except my husband will pay attention now. He won't food police me, he doesn't do anything like that. And if you see me have a difficult time, he'll go fix his own dinner, because right now we eat so totally different, it really is fixing two completely different
Yeah.
meals.
Mhm.
And being able to go back to Yesenia and say, well, I tried this and it didn't work, but this is what I found out. Or, you know, you suggested I read this or I look this up, or I start paying more, like she started me looking at if I couldn't do, mindful eating, appreciation and paying attention, and just having that accountability partner, being a professional, has, I would honestly say from where I was here 2 months ago to now, it's like 180-degree turnaround.
Yep.
Because I was feeling very depressed and
Mhm.
discouraged, pessimistic,
Yep.
ready to give up when I walked in 2 months ago.
Mhm. So I wrote down 3 of the things you just said, which was counseling, right? Eating separately sometimes might be what you got to do. And for some of our patients that are pre-op, you're pretty much eating independently anyway,
Yeah,
right? And then mindful eating, right? What else? Anybody ever do food journaling or putting it in an app or anything?
I'm very fantastic.
Do you? And
Yeah,
do you use the app, the same app that you were talking about before?
I use, MyFitnessPal.
I did,
Yeah.
I used to very.
Well, we had to
That's
do it.
the one I use. I like 'cause you can scan the foods.
But not
Uh-huh.
now, but
Put in
then I use
recipes.
different.
Oh, I love that.
If you make
I use
a
the same
meal
one
with
now. I give you those.
yellow squash
Well, see, that's the other thing.
spaghetti, you
Right.
gotta
And
put that
what's
stuff
not
in.
in that
She
container.
just brought up a really good thing
Say it again.
too.
Um, the portion of it, in Ingles, they have these little containers.
Uh-huh.
I think they're two 2 ounces, or something like that. I mean, they're small.
Mhm.
They fit about a half a cup to maybe
Mhm.
3/4 of a cup of food in it.
Mhm.
Literally, everything I'm going to eat is in there. So I put my vegetables and my chicken or my turkey or whatever I make, and it's in there. And then I can prepare a couple of them, because where I work, I just throw everything. Literally everything I eat can fit in my lunchbox the whole day.
Or
And I
get little
do,
individual portions that are mine and nobody else in my, whether my son's down visiting or my
correct, and
husband.
they know that,
like
they
the
know my little
they
containers with the
know
purple
that-
lids are my food.
But
you
for
want
you,
this-
visually, that tells you this is it.
This is it, yep.
Mhm.
I like
And
that.
I'm full, I mean,
And-
I'm,
and
it's
I can
really
tell you
good.
today, I went to Kroger, they've got a really good like salad bar, right?
Mhm.
So the last time I went down there, I got the container that's like about this size, and y'all, my salad was like $12. Today, I went and I got the smaller one, and I still wasn't hungry afterwards. I paid $4.
Mhm.
So the container thing, that's a good one, I like that.
You use mason jars, about small mason jars?
Oh.
You can reuse them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These ones I actually throw in the dishwasher,
Yeah.
I use
The
these
mason
containers.
jars are just heavy for me to cart around.
Yeah,
That's
it's easier for, and I stick it in the microwave, these little
I like that.
containers, they're supposed to be like throwaway, but I literally
Yeah.
throw them
Uh-huh.
in the dishwasher and reuse them until they
What do you
fall
put in the
apart.
mason jars?
The
Just
little-
whatever?
Every meal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, especially when I'm,
Yeah.
that's what I meal prep in, beans,
Mhm.
all my squash, spaghetti stuff,
Uh-huh.
everything goes in
When
that,
I
all my
started
meat,
this cart,
Yep.
whether
that's how I
it's
measure it
liquid
out.
or that, you
I
just-
like that because with the mason jars, you
Just
can see through it
Yeah.
too, right?
You can get the super
I
small
really
ones,
like
that.
that hold about 3 ounces.
Uh-huh.
There's some that hold about
Mine
6,
doesn't hold
and there's a
the-
bigger one that's like a cup.
Just a little
You're mixing
I
stuff
have, I
together.
have bought, a small one
Like it.
that I hold,
Okay.
like my.
Anything
fingers
else on the
have
diet?
Oh, yeah.
and that's what I use.
It helps to have
That's
a
a good
partner
idea.
make sure you're eating enough protein.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Protein's a
Yeah.
big problem for me.
Cookies.
And I measure out that protein, cause I have a scale and I measure out the protein in the containers first, and then I measure my vegetables out.
You use a lot of protein powder?
I do not,
Neither do
again, I can't use whey. I
Mhm.
found out I get a pretty little rash every time I eat it. I can drink milk, but I guess what we found out is the concentrated whey, is too much for my body. But I can use the plant protein, the pea protein, and I will add that into something if I feel I'm not getting enough protein. But for the last little bit, I have been able to intake, I use ground chicken and turkey, usually ground turkey is just so dry, I don't care how you prepare it. Chicken is usually, even though you get the leanest
Mushier.
chicken is mushier, well, if you take them and mix them together, they are perfect.
Oh.
I literally grind them up and I put a pound of this and a pound of that and mix it up, and then I split up my meal and I make everything out of it. I made like a little meatloaf out of it, I made, like a spaghetti I use, either the zucchini or I have, it's like a chickpea kind of, it's like a noodle, just for my mind, cause I was a carboholic
Oh, yeah.
before all of this
You know,
bad, I was really
What,
bad.
another thing that I found that I use is they got, when I got my, one of my slow cookers for my family, it has like, it's like this little, it's called a little dipper, it's like a cup and a half, hot pot.
My daughter bought me one of those.
And,
I've seen those
It's
small
a
ones.
little one,
It's
like,
quite
it's
cute.
really little, it holds like a cup and a half maybe, but it's like I can put the applesauce in that, throw the applesauce in that in the morning when I get up, and then I've got the hot applesauce to do whatever I'm gonna do with it. And that's keeping my portions down, cause I'm not fixing something big that I'm gonna wanna eat more of when it's done.
I've not had a problem, like I said, I split everything up, once I make everything, I split it up into containers, and that's what I eat all week in the fridge. And they all know that's, you know,
That's your
that's
corner.
mom's.
Mhm.
No.
Now, are you adding protein powder, that applesauce or anything? Are you
Yeah,
eating anything else with
I
it?
did that, also the Very Life, the Very Life chicken soup
Yep.
is like the best. I mean, I can put a thing of the low sodium tomato juice in the hot pot and then just put the Very Life chicken powder in it. And I've got a tomato chicken soup that satisfies the savory.
It's high in protein,
And then on
yep.
the sweeter protein, I've been using the Premier Protein, cause that's really high in protein, and then I went back to Ungery just this week.
Yep.
Ungery worked really well for me before, and
That's where I get my plant protein.
Ungery, isn't that a great?
And I can add that, it's a pea protein, so if you add it to certain things, it tastes like peas, I'm just gonna put it out there. There's certain things it just doesn't go with.
And none of their soups tasted all good to me.
The problem, it was the chicken soup, that I found out that it just didn't work for me,
Didn't work.
because that's, even though it was kosher, it was the
Something
concentrated
in it.
way
Oh, yeah.
that was getting me, so that
Mm.
Sue helped me find
Mhm.
the plant protein, and she's like, well, let's just try this, and I was like, you don't know how much I'm afraid of trying this,
Yeah.
and that's when I
Yeah,
found out I could do that.
the Very Light chicken soup is the first one I found that doesn't clump up, or I can
Yeah,
actually
clumping is
just
an issue.
run it in the blender. I can run it in the blender with water or a little extra low sodium chicken broth, and then put it in the thing, and it doesn't get all clumpy and awful. And I
Mhm.
still got hot chicken soup in the afternoon when I'm really craving something savory.
That's good.
I'm having
Can I
lots of it.
eat my protein, then I don't have room for anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to, I've tried eating protein for one of the meals, and then as my snack, I have to have the vegetables or
But it may
something.
take me 45
Mhm.
minutes to eat,
Mhm.
45 minutes, I just eat really slow, and I'm able to eat the vegetables and the protein. And then sometimes if we all go out, I'm taking most of it home, cause
Yeah.
they're already done.
Mhm.
Well, I can get about 4 bites, and I'm so full of it.
Well,
About
that
half a
different
cup
than,
of
like, I
fruit
don't
bar.
have that problem. I mean, are people that individually different?
How far out are you?
I'll be 2 years in October.
Yeah, that's not common for 2 years. Right after surgery, but not, I wouldn't say 2 years out.
My wife says that I can eat more than she could at that stage.
Mhm.
And they say that they do, the plumbing, I don't know if this is true or not, but they say that they plumb us different than women.
Okay.
Mm.
Cause I can
So
eat
that our
like 7
stomachs are a little bit larger.
Mhm.
a cup
Uh-huh.
of a meal size of about a cup or 7 to 8 ounces.
Mhm.
I know I
mean,
can't
can-
eat no more than a cup.
They use a,
But your men
they use something
metabolize
called,
differently, 'cause when I had my surgery, they told us up front, ladies, don't even look at how the men lose, 'cause they're gonna lose
oh, it's not a
way
comparison.
faster.
It's
Yes,
just
see.
like before surgery.
Just like
What
commercial,
you guys
they
are
stop
talking
drinking
about
soda,
with
and you
me,
do?
With the
Yeah.
cushions.
I want 30 days